and welcome. I'm Zombie Kitty and welcome back to another reaction video. So it was about 2-3 days ago now, I'm not sure when this is going to be uploaded, but 2-3 days ago PlayStation had their annual State of Play. This is an online convention where they reveal up and coming games that are going to happen throughout the year. Basically their version of like the E3 event. Considering they haven't been to E3 for the last like 2 years, this is also just a really short thing. I think it's about half hour, 40 minutes. But the first thing they showed was a Crash Bandicoot 4 like trailer. I think it was a trailer and a short interview. I have only seen one small detail of this, so one particular thing I already know about and have known about for a couple of months, which is the two like modes that the levels have, which I think I spoke about actually in the last Crash video I did, to do with the retro and the modern routes. So I already know about that, and I know that that's mentioned in this. So I'm not really going to talk probably too much about that, but I probably will pause and play stuff as we go along. So let's go. I still love the art style so much. Oh,
hey everyone,
gosh,
I'm
so cute.
producer at Toys for Bob, and I'm here to talk to you about Crash Bandicoot 4. It's
Oh,
about
that
time.
looks so nice.
Crash 4 is a direct sequel to Crash Bandicoot Warped. The devious villains Neocortex and
It's
Dr.
Entropy.
Entropy have finally escaped their interdimensional prison.
He looks
leaving an
different,
evil
but like
scientist-sized hole
the
in
design
universe.
is still there.
Now they've got their eyes set on not only simply
That doesn't make
conquering
sense,
this
but
dimension, but all dimensions.
Oh, that's
and
a
it's
weird
up to
shot.
Crash and Coco to save the day.
Oh.
Crash
Oh,
Bandicoot
this
4 It's About Time is the
looks
first
cool.
totally new game in the Crash Bandicoot series in over a decade. So for us at Toys for Bob, we felt that it was important to reintroduce longtime fans, as well as new players, to this amazing franchise. First, we made sure to incorporate the classic tense, precise, and perspective-shifting platforming that we all fell in love with. And then, we wanted to introduce exciting new elements that we can't wait to show you today. Let's start with Insanity Beach. This is where Crash's adventure first started, and where we pick things up again in Crash 4. But there have definitely been changes since we first saw Insanity Beach all those years ago. And throughout Crash 4, you'll see those changes to our gameplay and even our art style. Our art teams wanted to take inspiration from not just the original games, but the animated cartoons that inspired those original games, all while also delivering bigger, more awe-inspiring dimensions to explore.
Chase levels, good.
Throughout Crash 4, you'll see wide open new vistas, new character models, and lots of expressive animations. And with all of that also comes new
I like
additions
the
to
art style and
platform,
animation
like
as well.
having the ability to wall run, rope swing, rail grind, and zip line.
We saw this last time.
In the original trilogy, specifically Crash Warped, there were certain moments in the game where Crash would change outfits. Think Crash wearing a biker jacket when riding a motorcycle. That seemed like a natural area for us to expand upon. So we have loaded the game with tons of awesome skins that you can earn and wear throughout the game. These skins are totally cosmetic and a fun way to express yourself while playing the game. And just to be clear, there's no MTX here. Skins are earned by completing different challenges.
That's the first thing they have to emphasize, that there's no microtransactions in this game.
Masks, the powerful protectors.
That's really depressing.
Crash and Coco will need their assistance throughout the game to tackle the crazy challenges that we're going to be throwing at the player.
Oh.
Whether it's Ika Ika, who gives you the ability to instantly flip your center of
again, we
gravity
saw
with the
this
press of
last
a button.
time.
Kapunawa, who allows you to slow down the world around
And we saw this one as well last time.
Or Lani Loli, who allows you to phase shift elements in and out of existence. Bending the rules of reality and altering your environment with these new masks is a must. We also can't wait to talk to you about the fourth mask.
That's so cool.
But that's gonna have to wait for another day. What we can tell you today, though, is that Crash isn't the only character you get to take control of during this adventure. For starters, you can play the entire game as Coco. Any level that you can play as Crash, you can also play as Coco. It was also very important for us that she take a more prominent role in the story this time as well. But that's not all. We've got a few other characters that you'll get to control at key points in the adventure, so that they can provide their own fresh perspectives.
She wasn't really too much, like involved too much in the games than the previous trilogy.
He's all about using his blaster to change an enemy in his path. In addition to playing as Cortex, we're excited to reveal that for the first time, you'll also get to tail slap your way through crates as Dingodile. I repeat, you get to play as Dingodile in Crash 4.
What the
And a
whole?
lot has changed in the years since we last saw Dingodile.
So throughout the
In
whole
fact,
game?
he hung up his
Oh,
old flamethrower rocket launcher combo. and
7-year-old
decided to
me would
retire
have
from a
gone
life of
nuts
villainy
over this.
and open a diner. Unfortunately for Dingo, fortunately for us, his adventure begins by witnessing the destruction of said beloved diner and getting sucked into another dimension.
Poor guy.
Finally, there's one more surprise I'm incredibly
Oh, this is
excited to show
cool.
you today. The Crash Bandicoot series has always been about finding new and exciting ways to play through the game. In the past, it's been about taking on time trials or
Oh,
discovering
this
all the hidden
explains the
secrets.
platforms in the
Well, for
underwater
Crash 4,
levels.
we wanted to bring something brand new to the table, so we teamed up with our friends at Beanox to
In
create
the
a brand new
original
style of
trailer.
play for Crash 4 that we call inverted mode. It's our souped-up, bump-a-berry-fueled take on a mirror mode. Not only are perspectives shifted, but now each of the dimensions are rendered in a new and unique art style that really changes the look and feel of the experience.
Okay.
One dimension could be asking you to traverse through a neon wasteland, while another tasks players with spinning paint all over the environment to see their path forward.
Oh, it's Splatoon.
We've even got one that feels like an old-timey movie with the overcranked camera speed
that's
increasing the
cute.
actual speed of gameplay as well. Once
That's
unlocked,
kinda cool.
players can replay all the game's levels with a totally new and dynamic look and feel. It's an incredibly fun feature that is going to give every player, especially the completionists out there, a reason to revisit each level again
Yeah.
to see what new and exciting
This
experiences
is great for
in store them.
replayability. Because that was
So
what
that's some
was
of the
so
new
great
stuff that we have in
about
store for you.
the
in
Crash
Bandicoot
trilogy.
4, it's about time.
is that the
Experience space and
replayability was
time-bending madness on October 2nd.
the... Right. So, okay, there's a lot that happened there, and sorry I didn't end up pausing anything because everything was going by so quickly. Okay, so firstly, new mask. You get to fade objects in and out. That's cool, and actually that will let you access areas that maybe you couldn't beforehand. So like in Crash 1 or the original Crash games with the gems, where there's some areas you couldn't access because you didn't have the right gem. But with this, it could be like, okay, well you don't have that mask yet, so come back once you do, and that area will be open. Most of this stuff has already been touched upon in the first trailer and the other gameplay video that I did. Dingodile being completely replayable. Yeah, 7-year-old me would have gone nuts over that. Like, Dingodile is one of my favourite villains, so that's so cool. It'll be interesting to see whether the difficulty lessens or not because of that, or whether he has his own individual levels. I don't know, because he said you'll be playing the whole game, you can play the whole game as him. So maybe it'll be interesting to see what the difficulty is like with him because of his like blaster. The different visual modes is really interesting, and yeah, something that hasn't happened with Crash, as well as like the wall riding, the rail grinding, and the rope swinging. That's something that Crash Bandicoot games haven't had before, and even with like the different visual styles, that could be cool if it's like another mode. So as well as the time trial mode, you got the retro and modern modes, and then you got these different visual modes, but they have their own challenges. That could be cool. But yeah, that explains why in the first trailer of this, there was a shot of an underwater level, but it had platforms on it. So that actually makes sense now. Now that we know why that is, you can unlock the different modes. I don't know what the challenges would be that would be attached to those modes, but it is a cool mechanic. And again, I like that they're sort of they're thinking of replayability, and there's a lot of ways that I can see where it's like, yeah, I can see that's what you were thinking of, and actually you weren't rushing to think of that. You were actually, basically this seems like, you know, Toys for Bob actually care about the new game, and I think they've actually done a fantastic job so far. Again, I've already mentioned this, but it is a bit depressing that it has to be said that no microtransactions are going to be in it. This was something that came up, I think it was about a month ago now, where I think it's on the PlayStation Store. It was found out that for some featured features you'd need like a PS Plus subscription and stuff like that. So people started thinking, oh, is it because of microtransactions or something like that? And with the addition of customizable skins as well, which they've mentioned, which again is really cool. But yeah, that also does bring into the question of like, okay, would we actually have to pay for this stuff with real money? Which I think it was the lead developer of Toys for Bob ended up actually putting a tweet out saying, I just want to emphasise, no microtransactions in this. Which firstly is awesome, but also, remember what happened to Crash Nitro Fueled, where they said the same thing. It came out, it got released, 2 months later, microtransactions. So that's going to take a lot of convincing for the fans to believe that. Because we do remember what happened with Nitro Fueled. And I know again that's a racing game, but the point still stands. Even though they've said no, none of these transactions. I'm going to wait a couple months and see if they're correct. But it is a bit depressing that had to be mentioned. Because it is such a big problem now in the gaming industry. And I think from what I remember, because I did catch the last of that conference, and a lot of those trailers in that conference later on said the exact same thing, like this doesn't have microtransactions, and better yet, no microtransactions. Like, it's such a shame that that's being used as like a marketing tactic. It's so depressing. I feel like I don't need to see anything else now. Like, even from the first trailer, it's Crash Bandicoot. It's my favourite game series ever. It's pre-ordered. I've already pre-ordered it months ago or ages ago. Actually, it wasn't a month ago. It's only been like a month or so, I think, since it was announced. Jeez. But yeah, that's been pre-ordered already. Like, I feel like I don't need to see anything else now. And with each thing that gets, or each piece of information that gets released about it, just gets me more excited about the game. This is going to be a very popular one, I think. And I hope it does well. But that was the Crash Bandicoot 4, I think it's called Overview trailer, from the PlayStation State of Play conference this year. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will move on after this to other reaction videos, but again it's Crash 4. And once this is released, this is probably all I'm going to be talking about on social media for like the next couple of weeks. once it's released. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here. So thank you all for watching. I do now live stream on Twitch. Admittedly, haven't been on for a couple of weeks just because it's been too hot to live stream in my room. And even as I'm talking now, it's about 32 degrees Celsius outside. It's very warm. I think once everything cools down, I'll go back to my normal schedule, which is Saturdays at 4 PM UK time. And then the other weekdays, I'll live stream starting at 7 or 8 PM UK time. At the time of recording, I am still going through SpongeBob, the Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Haven't really made too much progress with it at the moment because I don't want to play it outside of streaming. So I haven't really made too much progress with it. The other thing as well is I am doing a Crash Bandicoot themed charity event, which is the 17th till 23rd of August. There is a video with me going into more detail about it, but I'll put that and the Tiltify donation link in the description below, as well as the video I've just reacted to. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye!